I meet these people and they're all scared to jump in as well. And I've been in their shoes, and it's so fun to see the excitement and nerves on them. And then to know that that's going to melt away really quickly because of the synergy and love that is brought into the mastermind. Because it can only be done in a group of harmony. You always offer up. You're never putting people down, even if it's something you don't agree with or didn't work for you. You're never going to bring that negativity into the mastermind circle. So therefore, it is only an uplifting experience. And today, I am speaking on acquiring the infinite intelligence through the mastermind. As you all know, that is the 10th step to riches in Think and Grow Rich. It's an amazing book. So if you've ever felt stuck in life, felt like you didn't know how to move forward, you didn't have the knowledge or the desire to move forward with something that you really want or something that you really needed to do in life, you have experienced where you felt that you didn't have the knowledge needed, right? You didn't have the resources available. And that's why we feel those feelings of being stuck and not able to progress. And with that, you kind of put a wall around yourself. You put up this, I don't know what to do. I don't have the knowledge, which realistically we all do, but we've all put ourselves in that box. And I remember being there 5 years ago or a little more. And I reached out to my friend and I told her, I said, Ty and I feel stuck. We don't know what to do. We know we want to start our own business, and we know that being an employee forever isn't going to get us to our dreams, but we don't know what to do. And we know that Ty's an amazing graphic designer, but we don't know where to go from here. And I remember voicing that, and that was really scary because I really looked up to this friend as knowledgeable, and they seemed to have their life put together, and admitting that I didn't was really hard for me. Now, that's a different problem that you can learn about in different episodes. However, I remember taking her up on her offer to go with her and to attend a mastermind. I was like, okay. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know how it worked. She just said, put on some nice clothes and come with me and you'll get some free food. I was like, okay. So here I was 5 years ago. I walk into the room with an amazing setup, amazing bunch of people who all looked like they had their lives together, who all looked like $1 million. I was so intimidated. I just immediately put my shell up like, oh no, I don't have what it takes to be here. And as the meeting went on, I remember those walls coming down slowly. I remember being able to feel relaxed. And when it came time for the mastermind portion, I was split up from my friend. I remember being so scared because I knew nobody else there, and I didn't own a business. I was asking how to start a business, and I just felt so out of place. But I pushed through it. I put on a brave face, and I just was able to say a little prayer and calm down that I could be present in the moment. So I'm sitting there in the group awaiting my turn to present my ask. And all these people are saying, I'm looking for funding, I'm looking for donors, I'm looking for clients, but they had these established businesses and they had already been making money. And here it comes to me, and I present my ask, and I said, my ask was, I'm starting a business with my husband, and I don't know how to write a business plan. And I remember being so embarrassed to say that. And yet everyone's eyes lit up, so excited. And I remember immediately the love pouring in and the advice and the questions of what have you done? What is your business? And what is your offer? And I remember immediately just all of that embarrassment and being scared just melted away. It was a really cool experience. And if you've read Think and Grow Rich, he talks about in here about the different things leading up to a mastermind. And you need to have the desire, you need to, take action and things like that, and building up that plan. But the mastermind is essential to that plan because you don't have all the knowledge together. We've talked about that in previous episodes. You have to find those other people. There are ways to mastermind alone that he talks about in the book, using other resources, such as he talks about in college. It's set up to be kind of like a mastermind in a library, right? Where people's knowledge, utilizing people's knowledge shared in books and things like that. You can go mastermind that way all you can, and it's good to sometimes, right? But I knew that I needed to have people who had been there and done it before, because with my ADHD, sitting and just reading a bunch of books to figure it out, not my cup of tea. I will confuse myself really quick or not have the patience to sit there. So here I was in this group, and these people just poured in, and I was taking notes and things like that. They, how to set up an LLC, go get my banking set up, how to go and present ourselves, packages we are going to offer to clients, things that weren't even on my radar, that they just poured into me and not only said, this is what you should do, but this is how you can do it. I am willing to help you with this. Let's meet afterwards. And I remember just that like overwhelming love that I felt being there in that mastermind, and the hope that came from it, right? So I was scared for my ask, but then I was also scared that I didn't have knowledge to share because I hadn't been in the same seat as all of them. But that quickly melted away as well. And I remember sitting there listening to some of their asks, and it's a very intimate group, but it's also very trusting. And so some of these asks were things such as, I'm struggling with mentality. How do I keep going? I've got a successful business, but I just don't feel like, pushing through anymore. Things that I had struggled with as well, and in different aspects of my life. So I remember being able to realize that I had knowledge to share as well. And that was an amazing feeling to me. And that is all part of the mastermind. We're not there to just take. The mastermind is sharing infinite knowledge. And I had knowledge in areas that some of these people hadn't, or needed a reminder, right? And I remember that whole process of the mastermind being so therapeutic for me, because it made me realize I did have what it takes, because these people struggle with things the same that I do. They had knowledge in other areas that I didn't, but it didn't mean I wouldn't get there. It didn't mean that I didn't have people in my corner cheering me on that would help me get there. And this was the first time that I realized, like, my husband and I had what it takes to move forward and create the life we wanted and our business. So that was my first experience, and I was hooked. So from there, I've been so blessed to work with John Cobb Jr. throughout the years. And I said, I just want to be a part of it. Teach me. I love this mastermind method. And I have been able to take this and apply it in my family's lives, in our marriage, help other people who are struggling. And then I've also had this core group that we mastermind through Champion Circle. And I call it my mastermind family. Learning and applying these steps to riches, and it all kind of comes together in the mastermind, has been life-changing. It's like this synergy of excitement that we get every time we sit and we mastermind. And sometimes we start masterminding without realizing it. We just start a discussion, and because we're so used to applying these principles in our lives, it leads to a mastermind, and it's enriching and it's fulfilling, and you feel like your knowledge is appreciated, as well as other people pouring into you, and you feel loved and accepted. And this is all the harmony that's supposed to be in a mastermind. That's part of how you know you're doing it right. And I also love in the book, he goes on to talk about how you can, so he says, no two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, tangible force, which may be likened to a third mind. And if you've ever been with friends and you've been making plans, talking about something you want to go do, or, just making a plan of some sort with somebody, and you all of a sudden realize it's coming together, and you feel that excitement, whether it's a trip, whether it's a girls' night out, whether people and they're all scared to jump in as well. For me, like homeschooling, in planning our days and our see the excitement once and nerves on them, realize and then to know that that's going to melt away. This is actually really happening quickly. That is the synergy and love that is brought into the mastermind. That's like, because it can only be done to the third in a group of harmony. Without having a second person, never putting people down, even if it's something you don't agree with or didn't work for you, you're never going to bring that negativity. That third mind is not created. So therefore, it can't get to that only an uplifting experience. And I think that is such a powerful thing to remember. It's an amazing thing to experience. To wrap it up, so it says anybody can wish for riches, and most people do, but only if you know that a definite plan plus and a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating wealth. That's a wealth of knowledge. That's a wealth of material things. You will not get there alone. And you can go back in history and look at anything, any big business, any big inventor, they did not get there alone. And it's all on who they put in their circles and who they allowed in to mastermind, and who they sought out to be a mentor and to mastermind with. And through that, you can get there too, just as we've learned and are experiencing ourselves.